Alright, so we talk about James Gunn's Superman movie, and for the fact that this movie has officially wrapped filming, and that marks a 1 year until its release on July 11th of 2025. And even with the question that we've all been wondering, especially with the fans, is that can this start DC's next chapter of movies, right? Especially as we have a new Superman. This is like the reboot of James Gunn's DCU ever since his announced slate, and can this save everything if they're heading up in the right direction, and so much more. And that's what we'll be breaking down in this video from the news, from the timeline of events leading up to all of this, and this could be a good movie or a win for DC as well. And so if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos, including for this one like Superman. But now let's talk about it. And now, so recently, with James Gunn, he posted this picture on his social media and a long post confirming that his Superman movie has officially wrapped filming, and especially from where this pic is from. This is from week one of filming, and even if y'all remember back like Superman Day at the end of February when he posted this a picture of the Superman logo for this movie is going to represent an inside of the hero, especially with the mantle of Superman, the Man of Steel himself. And now fast forward to now months later, it's now officially wrapped filming, and even though I got set pics like I think like a month ago showing off David Corenswet as the Man of Steel and his outfit, and even though that the Superman movie has wrapped filming, and we're like a 1 year away from its official release, but even like how they're going to market this movie and how it's going to get people excited again for the next chapter of DC. And now that we have new characters coming in, I mean, thanks to James Gunn and his knowledge of comic books, and for the way he does world building, especially taking characters from a comic book and turning them into a family, into likable characters, especially for general audiences, and especially with comic book fans as well. But even though, I mean, this is like the official start of it. And now, if you guys remember the timeline of events from late January of 2023 when James Gunn announced his DC slate called Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters, that he started off by announcing Superman, which was previously called a Superman Legacy, all the way up until then, even with the Supergirl movie and Creature Commandos and Green Lantern and so much more. But even after that, every DC movie that came out that year has been like a miss and a flop after flop, and even though it concluded with Aquaman 2. But now, since we're now entering this new phase, this sort of reboot, it's sort of going to be like a fresh start for DC, because even though with James Gunn under the DC umbrella, and then now fans are now worried if James Gunn can restart this whole phase of DC to get audiences excited, and so, but especially after what happened with the DCEU, the way that they handled those characters poorly. But even though I like those movies and I like those characters very much, but even though that we're entering this new phase, this new chapter for DC with Superman or Wonder Woman, and even with Batman Brave and the Bold, even though this gets me excited for what DC has in store. And I know James Gunn has been talking about this project for a long time, and ever since he announced it, but now we're sort of in this new chapter. And now, especially with this question, and that has to be answered, could this be a win for DC? Because even ever since the DCEU and the way that it ended, and now with James Gunn's DC universe as essentially a reboot, it's going to a reset, and now it's starting all over again in 2025, well 2024 to be exact, with this animated show Creature Commandos. But Superman is the real start, and even for how they're going to market this movie with its first teaser, the official trailer, and the thing they're gonna go hard at this marketing and getting the whole cast involved, just showing their appreciation for this movie, especially with James Gunn himself. And I mean, we all know the man can direct so many comic book movies, especially with Guardians from Marvel, but now moving over to DC, especially with the Suicide Squad, and now, man, it's so hard to believe that in a year from now that we are officially getting James Gunn's Superman movie. And even that they had a whole merch line for the actual film, and it was all sold out, and I hope that they restock either by the end of this year or before the movie releases, so everyone can like, you know, get a chance to celebrate this movie in like the right way. And man, like, and even ever since those early set photos that we got from David Corenswet in the Superman suit, but I think this is going to be a major win, because even though that with DC, they've been in like a tough spot ever since the DCEU, and now that's going into a reset, especially after the Flash. But like now, I think this is a wake up call for DC to really get the general audiences excited about what they have coming up. Even though with James Gunn that didn't show up at this year's Comic-Con to talk about more about his DC slate, but even though that like he sort of announced over the weekend the new official logo for DC Studios, it kind of looks so good, and just so represents this new start and chapter for DC, because even the DCEU is over. We're now in the DCU under James Gunn, and now that this is like a fresh start, a new chapter for all of these characters. His movies coming up, he has good control over the slate. He has him, Peter Safran, and I hope that this all like starts on like a very good note and has like audiences excited about a DC movie again. And also, from what I can assure from is that I think 2025 is going to be the year for Superman. It's because even with James Gunn, like he knows what he is doing. I mean, I bet he's going to market this film enough for the general audiences, especially for comic book movie lovers, to remind everyone of what Superman is, and then especially with the plot details and with everything that we know about the film so far. But I mean, so much is hidden within this movie, and I can only imagine what the first teaser is going to be like. I mean, it's going to get people excited, and I bet they're going to start marketing this film probably at the start of 2025, and until the official release of the movie. I can't imagine what that press tour is going to be like with the entire cast. I bet it's going to have a David Corenswet talking about Superman and his experiences on set, and just like donning the suit for the very first time, and with a Rachel Brosnahan, especially with a Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, and I'm pretty sure like that is going to be insane. But I'm pretty sure James Gunn knows how to deliver a great movie, and well, even if this ends up being like a hit or a mess or like a flop for DC, I mean, people won't trust in James Gunn, but I'm pretty sure that this will be a win or like a start for it. Also, keep in mind of what's even crazy is that they're going to have competition with Marvel, because even with Fantastic Four First Steps, that Lily had just started filming at the time of recording this yesterday on Tuesday, and it's out July 25th, 2025, and so Marvel and DC are going to have competition with each other because they have movies releasing 2 weeks apart, and so I guess we'll have to see which one wins. But that year it's going to have Marvel's First Family and DC's new Superman, and I guess it's gonna be a win. So for my final thoughts is I'm very excited for James Gunn's Superman movie, and even ever since the DCEU ended, and now that we're in like new territory, like a reset, and now I think general audiences are sort of like concerned or sort of like worried, at least still, about how James Gunn is going to handle this, of how Superman is going to turn out. But I feel like we're in very good hands with DC and what James Gunn has cooking up. And I think after the failure of that previous universe, but now in this some sort of reboot with these characters that he has up and coming, I think this could be a start for the next chapter of DC characters, and I feel like it's going to get audiences very excited again as well. But what do you guys think in the comments down below? Do you think that this could be a good start with a James Gunn's Superman movie, or do you have your opinion? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn on notifications bell for future videos, and also follow all my social medias, all of which are linked down below, including my Patreon. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.